What it do, crew? Welcome back to the channel. This video came across my notifications and I've been following this channel for a long time. I'm pretty sure I've been following them for about 10 years now, since college, and they're called the Fung Bros. But the reason why I want to react to this video is because it's not their usual content. Usually it's about food. Right now I think they're based in New York City, so they do a lot of really cool things there. They're originally from Seattle, Washington, or south of Seattle, which I have family in, and I grew up north of Seattle, so I used to go there all the time. It would have been cool to know them growing up. This one is really cool because it is titled 30 Things You Need to Know Before You Turn 30. I'm turning 30 this year, and I'm wondering if I know these 30 things that the Fung Bros have to share with every one of us. So let's go ahead and watch this video. Let's definitely smash the like button, and let's see if we know these 30 things.
Here are 30 things that you need to know by the time you turn 30.
So whether you're younger or older, here are 30 pieces of advice for your adult life.
I like what they said right here. Just because you're not 30 yet or you're way past 30, it is okay to know these things, because for me, example, there's a lot of things that I wish that I knew before now.
Point number one, everybody's life moves at a different pace because everybody was dealt a different set of cards. Nowadays with social media, it is so easy to compare yourself to those around you, whether it's getting married, moving to a new city, settling into your career, getting a dog. But remember guys, comparison is the thief of joy.
I used to live life comparing myself to others. I used to think like, wow, why am I not there where they're at? Or I look at other people and I'm like, they're not really doing anything with their lives, which, if you compare yourself to others, there is a healthy way of doing it, but there's also just the general thing that I like to say is like, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if that person is way ahead of you. It doesn't matter if that person's way behind. Either they'll learn eventually, they'll change, they won't change. There's a lot of different things. The only thing that really matters is what you do for yourself, whether it's for the better or for worse.
Definitely start to think about how to invest your money. Now, there's so many different philosophies on how to invest and how much time you want to put into it and your risk tolerance, but those are questions that you have to answer. But let me tell you this, we're a little bit late on the boat on investing our money, but man, I wish I did it earlier.
I share that sentiment 100%. Look, the nice thing is I learned about personal finance and investing at least the right way, or the safe and guaranteed growth way, within the last few years. I did start investing almost 7 years ago, but it was very uneducated. There was just like, oh, this stock price is going up, I'm going to invest in it. And then a few weeks later, stock price is going down, or there was some scandal that came out, like there was a credit card breach. Basically, I would panic sell, I would panic buy, I'd have a lot of FOMO.
Everybody has their own unique set of metrics for what is success to them. Yes, society does have a conventional set of metrics. Your parents, for sure, they have their own set, but you're ultimately going to need to decide what's success to your own set of standards.
I grew up with an Asian parent. She probably had a set of metrics or standards, or what her thought was for my success. Me, myself, actually didn't have any. I didn't have a bar that I set. But then as I grew and I met more people, yeah, I definitely thought, oh, I need to go to college. I need to get a good job. I need to be able to make money and, do whatever it is with it.
Number 4, stop drinking bull. Guys, listen, you know what substances affect your body in what way, because you've got things to do, so you better act accordingly.
I honestly stopped drinking as much as I did back in college. Like, I used to drink almost every weekend, but then just after working, I became boring. I became really boring where I don't drink a lot. Maybe I'll pop a bottle of wine every once in a while. And it's not one of those expensive, like $100 bottles. It's just a $15 bottle at Costco.
Number 5, make sure you forgive yourself first. Listen, there's going to be people out there that won't forgive you for the things you did or did not do. Maybe you didn't help a friend out in need. Maybe you made a bad financial decision that kind of hurt some people. Listen, whatever it is, you have to forgive yourself first and then learn from it and move on with your life.
And that's what I talk about on my channel. I talk about those personal finance, investment things, but I also talk about the lessons that I've learned in my life where I have had to have forgiven myself for them, just so I could share them with you.
Number 6, stop imagining how great other people's lives are based on what you see on social media. Because yes, they might have nicer material things than you, but trust me, life is really not about that.
This is all you see on social media is, I got a bunch of cash, I got $10,000 here, and that's it.
Number 7, make sure you live in near proximity to the things that make you happy.
A lot of people ask us, why did we move out to LA? Or there's comments down in the video that me and my fiance were featured on CNBC Make It's Millennial Mortgage. They say, why would you ever move from Texas to California? It's obviously a lot cheaper in Texas. But the thing is, what happened for us was, for her, her family was in Nevada, so she moved further away instead of just the next state over. For me, I didn't really have family in Texas, just the friends that I made from college, but then a lot of them moved away, and then only a few of them were there. So I didn't really, have anything anchoring me down to Austin since I was already done with school. So moving to Los Angeles, there's a lot more culture here. There's a lot more diversity in the sense that, we have family here. She has family in Los Angeles. I have family that's just outside of Los Angeles, like in San Diego or, up north from here. Also, the ability to hop on a plane like at LAX and go to the Philippines where my mom and grandma are at. It's so much easier here versus having to fly from the middle of the country to the coast and then so on. I grew up on an island which was on the West Coast, right up in Washington, but I really like being next to the water. When you're out in Texas, in the middle of the state in Austin, there's a river, but there's not a beach. So we really appreciate the fact that we're close to the beach. We also really love Disneyland, or at least when we were able to go. So that's why we moved out to LA.
Number 8, stop reliving regrets constantly in your brain. It is tiring. I'm not gonna say don't regret anything in life, but really save it for a few things. And definitely do not regret things that you were not even close to doing. Be real with yourself.
I was one of those people where I bought into Bitcoin or cryptocurrency when I didn't really understand it. And then, the market crashed. I also regret not getting into Bitcoin sooner when I was literally going to a bunch of info sessions back in college talking about crypto and Bitcoin. So this was back in 2012, 2013. You can only imagine if you look at the charts how much crypto and Bitcoin cost at that time.
Be fearless and reckless if that's who you are. Be stable and safe if that's who you are. It's really important to know yourself and to be that.
That's really funny because I remember I was very outgoing in high school. I'd be, super extreme, very loud, kind of I had this pretty outgoing personality. But then once I got to college, I realized that sometimes that doesn't mesh well with certain people. At least for now, it's I've realized who I am and who I can be and how I can be with other people and make things okay.
Number 10, don't settle. You're not the only one trying to figure it out. I wasn't born as Ryan's toy reviews, so I'm just gonna quit YouTube. I'm not gonna quit, and you shouldn't either.
Oh yeah, I ain't quitting because, I've been doing this for a year now. I wish I'd done it sooner, but, I'm having a lot of fun with it. And if anyone's going to watch my videos, hell, I'll keep doing it because there's someone else on the other side liking my videos.
Number 11, find the right people. Now this goes for romantic partners, business partners, groups of friends, therapists. You gotta find the right people because the people that are surrounding you can really change your life significantly for better or for worse.
There have been so many people in my life, for better or for worse, that have been huge influences on me. There have been people in my life who, probably shouldn't have been there, but from those lessons or from those people that I meet that, are no longer in my life, I learned something from them or I learned something about that relationship that I had with them. There are definitely people that I think back on. It's man, I wish they were still in my life, but I don't let that hold me back from where I'm trying to go or grow my own life with.
Number 12, take care of your teeth.
I think one of the best investments that I've ever made was buying a Sonicare toothbrush. You do have to replace the brushes every 3 months or so, but basically ever since I bought my Sonicare toothbrush, I think it was already 5 years ago, I've had no cavities. I mean, I've seen research or articles or people have told me, maybe it was people have told me, brushing your teeth and keeping your teeth clean can extend your life for 5 to 7 years or something like that, which is crazy.
Number 13, surround yourself with smart people who have common interests, who like you.
Number 14, not every city is the same and sometimes you need a change. I'm a little fish in a big pond. Well, I seem to be a big fish in a little pond, but at least I know what fish I am.
For me, I grew up in a small town. I ended up going to a totally different state in a totally different city in Austin, Texas to go to school. After that, I moved to Los Angeles with my fiance. When we moved out to LA, we also got to connect with our families a lot more often compared to when I was in college or when we lived in Austin.
Number 15, guys, try to rank things into low, middle, high.
Make sure 2 of the 9 pinned threads in your iMessage are either your parents or family, and also FaceTime with them more. No, Mom, I don't think I'm going back to grad school. But anyways, good FaceTiming.
I FaceTime with my mom as often as I can. I get really busy during the week, and then, she's in a different time zone on the total opposite side of the world. So sometimes she's sleeping when I'm awake and vice versa. So I only get to really catch her in her mornings or in her late evenings.
Plant a solid tree trunk, especially if you're doing anything entrepreneurial. I see this with young people all the time. Listen, guys, when you are starting off small, especially when you do not have unlimited capital or just a very small seed to start with, you do not want to start competing with the billion, trillion-dollar companies.
If you're starting small, start small. It's okay if you have failures here and there. What's holding you back from just starting something new, like how I did with YouTube? Obviously, there have been people who started like a month ago and they have 10 times the amount of subscribers, or they're already making money on YouTube. I'm just doing it for fun because it's fun.
Read books, or at least go on those summary apps that will give you the gist of the book for you.
Number 19, cut the toxic people out of your life. Sometimes you gotta just cut the fat, and you're not hoping that fat falls by the wayside and has a terrible life, but it's just not fit for what you're doing.
That's definitely something that just happens implicitly throughout life. But at the same time, it's like I've also had a handful of people in my life tell me straight up like, hey, I don't like hanging out with you because of this and this. And that made me think and reflect on myself of like, why am I this way? Or did I even know? And it kind of opened my eyes to who I really am and who I wanted to be. And then hopefully, they trimmed me out from their life, but then, they're doing well. And then at the same time, I changed myself for the better, hopefully, and I'll keep growing from there too.
You're thinking about buying some property, think about buying an investment property. So if you're 30 and you've been working and saving, you're probably thinking about buying a house or condo, but what if you bought an investment property in an upcoming neighborhood? Not necessarily a place you want to live, but you can rent it out and you're going to get passive income from that. I'm not going to lie, I haven't done it yet, but there's a lot of videos on YouTube about it.
Hell yeah, look at that. That's Graham Stephan. So I meet with Graham Stephan a couple times a week, and I talk to him about real estate investing, but also YouTube. That is the thing. Like, if the Fung bros, they're a couple years older than me, they haven't done it yet. Look, me and my fiance have bought a house already. We're looking at just getting into real estate investing. So it's something that if you're not even 30 yet, or you're just 18 or even younger, it's something that you should think about as soon as possible. Just save your money, and hopefully you can get an investment property where in the future, after you're done with that 30-year mortgage, it'll be paid off and you'll be good to go.
Number 21, when you travel with a purpose.
Number 22, find the experts that relate to you in your own life.
Number 23, do not try to keep up with the Joneses. But if you do absolutely have to keep up with the Joneses, make sure you buy something that you can resell at a good price.
Sorry, I just laugh at that because I didn't do that. Like, I always needed to
wear Brooks Brothers, I needed to wear polo, I needed to be this total frat boy. And
like have that look. But in the end, it's like some of these shirts don't even fit anymore because I'm fat. Am I going to resell them? No one's probably going to want them. And that's just my mistake. But at the same time, it was like I was trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Number 24, a lot of the great quotes online that are circulating around the internet come with some prerequisites. Take this famous Steve Jobs quote about following your heart. It sounds really nice, but it's really intended for a certain audience.
Number 25, every day you start off your day with a finite amount of energy. You start off with a full pitcher of water and you decide where you want to pour that into different cups.
I'm going to disagree with that because all you need to do is put a bunch of coffee in your system and you'll be good to go.
Listen, guys, everybody since they were born has been constantly told you only have one life to live, make the most of it, YOLO. But until you actually have a visual representation like these infographics or pictures, sometimes it's harder to understand.
I've said YOLO back in like college when it was a big thing, like that Drake song came out. But you only live once, even though that could be true, is a bad way to look at it. What I started to do, or at least I like to believe and say, is you live life each and every single day. If you only live once, yeah, something can end tomorrow. Versus if you wake up each and every day with the purpose of living that day with a purpose, you'll get a lot more out of life.
Number 26, make sure you get decent sleep. I don't really need to explain the science behind it, guys. Number 27, buy a good version of the product you use every day. Number 28, as you get older, you probably won't see your friends as often, but that's okay because it's more about quality than quantity. Number 29, you should start being able to identify what type of partner you want to be with. I'm not telling you to settle down at all, but by 30, you should probably have an idea of, the type of traits in a person you enjoy being around.
I'm not anyone like an influencer or anything like that. I started YouTube just as a hobby. My fiance, she's super hardworking. She's a hustler. Like, she definitely goes out and tries to make as much money as she can with, what she has. She has been, faced with a lot of adversity trying to get to where she is. And I think that is really cool. I mean, if you have a partner that has the same mindset in terms of, your career, wanting to grow, making money, saving money, investing money, doing the same thing and sharing the same values, then it makes the relationship a lot easier. That way, if there's any arguments that come up, it's usually about little petty things that you could get over really quickly.
This might be one of the most important ones, is that ideas are easy to come by, but the execution is the hard part. A lot of people have come up to us saying, hey guys, how do I start a YouTube channel, or how do I start my Instagram brand? I'm like,
and why do you have to go to the Fung Bros to say or ask,
how do I start up a YouTube?
You really just, if you have a smartphone, and I'm pretty sure each and every one of us has a smartphone now, just turn on the camera, film something, hold it like this, hold it up like a selfie and start filming. That's all you got to do.
It's free, it's quick. I mean, just start it.
There you go.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching that video about 30 pieces of advice before you turn 30. Whether you are going to turn 30 or you're past 30, and it was great to hear a reminder, make sure you let us know in the comment section below any additional pieces of advice that you might have.
I'm a little fish in a big pond.
Shout out to the Fung Bros. They're obviously not going to watch this video, but if they happen to watch this video, because I actually haven't seen a lot of videos where people react to Fung Bros videos, I've been watching them for a long time. So guys, if you see this video and you want to collaborate, I'm based in Los Angeles. If you want to go out and get something to eat, when all of this clears up or when we get the vaccine, I think I'd be down. I really appreciate you guys putting out this content, and thank you for all these helpful tips. These 30 things to know by 30, super useful. I will go out, and I have, I think, 11 months until my 30th birthday. I'll go out and do these things, or at least learn about these things. Anyways, thanks so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already done so, please hit the like button, the subscribe button, obliterate all those buttons, and the notification bell so you know next time I post a video on my channel. My Instagram's right here. You can find me there. We do have a lot of fun there. Also, remember to check out Millennial Investments. Go to your browser, type in millennial.investments, no .com, no .net, no www. Go on there, subscribe. There's a link down in the description below where you can click on that and then sign up to win prizes. We got swag. It's super cool. Again, thank you. And if you learned anything from this video, let's get to work. That was on camera.